Hello.
Hi, Mario.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Hi, Stefan.
Aren't you bored yet of being home alone? Well, not alone, but just being home.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go
Imagine
back.
so.
Let's see. All right. So welcome, guys. Thanks for hopping on.
I did bring my glass.
Mine's in a Wendy's cup.
Okay, well,
All right. See, so Dr. Bakchi is going to be the one to be kind of delegating everything.
yeah.
So I'm going to stop my video real quick and mute myself, and I'll be back shortly.
Okay, great.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Jay Lindquist, and who are you?
I'm Mario. I'm actually a colleague at Virginia Tech.
Of Joe?
Yes.
Hi, Mario. How are you? I'm Jay Lindquist. He and I were, we've known each other for 40 years
Okay.
and worked at the Academy of Marketing Science together. And he was president back in like 2002 through 2004. And I was like the third or fourth president, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And we were co-authors on 4 editions of a consumer behavior textbook.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've known him for a long time. So I guess you and I are on, Mario. What's your connection with him?
So, well, so I'm in the faculty at Virginia Tech, and
Oh, good.
yeah, yeah. And also, I was also delved a little bit into research on happiness and well-being, but clearly not as much as Joe has. Extremely productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I, as I said, we've worked together for years. And of course, he really got the quality of life stuff going. Actually started the organization, many decades ago.
Yeah.
And a really good guy.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah. He says he's going to retire, but he's like me. I retired from doing what I like, faculty meetings and all that stuff, and pick and choose what I do still. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's
nice
he's
to
still
meet
going to be
you.
very, very busy. Yeah.
I guess we're the only 2 on so far, huh?
No, there's actually, I don't know if you can see the other people, but I think
No.
there's 5 people on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. You probably can hear me now.
Yes.
This is Richard Estes from.
I love, excuse me, I love it when you said, "Can you hear me now?" That sounds like some kind of commercial.
Star Trek. Well, I've been playing here for about 5 minutes trying to figure out how to get the damn thing to work.
Well, join the group.
Yeah.
When you get over 39, things start slowing down a little.
Well, people told me it was age 9 that you needed a child to figure out the technology.
Oh my, well, but they live by this. They were born with this. They probably saw themselves when they were born.
Right. And many of us picked it up with Star Trek, which goes back
Right.
to the 60s, I guess.
Yeah.
But what's your name, sir?
All right, my name is Jay Lindquist, and
Jay Lindquist. And where are you calling from, Jay?
I'm calling from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, wonderful.
How about you? Where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania.
Ah, good. Yeah, I retired in 2005 from Western Michigan University.
You have me beat by 5 years. I found that the first 5 years was just a job in figuring out how to be retired, because I kept doing the same things over and over and over again, the work. And it took a number of years to decide that I actually would be retired.
Right. Well, actually, the last thing I published was in 2007. You know, I retired in 5, but then I said, okay, what are you going to do professionally? What are you not? So I had my list, and I eliminated a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do anymore.
Well, Joe,
and I'm still busy. We're all busy.
Joe and I are really writing partners for almost 20 years now.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
We edit a journal, and we do a lot of publications together. So, I mean, that part's okay, but it was like going into school with doctoral committee meetings and all that sort of thing.
I didn't want to do that anymore.
I gave it up. Yeah, I totally gave it up.
Yeah, he and I worked on, we started the consumer behavior text, and we went through 4 editions, probably, I don't know, 12 years worth of writing together. And then when I retired, I said, okay, Joe, you got it with whomever you want.
Right.
You know?
Now, is Joe on the line?
I don't know.
No. So just to kind of give you guys a quick overview, my name's Amy. I'm the one who's been emailing everyone.
Amy, thank you so much for giving me the code.
You're very welcome.
Down I couldn't find it.
Yes.
Senior moment.
So I wanted to let you guys know Dr. Bakchi, which is the department head of Virginia Tech, is going to be kind of delegating everything for us. But we have asked Joe to log on at about 6:15-ish. We kind of wanted to surprise him. He thinks this is just a departmental kind of virtual gathering, but we actually invited everyone.
So not until 6:15. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we look like we could be part of a department meeting, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Although I've had enough of those.
Yeah.
No, can never have too many departmental meetings.
Enough is too much.
If you want a suicide, that's the way to do it. But Mario Pandolieri, if I could find out a little bit more about you, because your name is so familiar to me through Joe.
Okay, Jay Lindquist is the name. This is like my 3rd career when I went into academia. I didn't get my PhD till I was 39 years old. And so I taught for about 30 years. And he and I worked a lot in the Academy of Marketing Science. I was a president, he was a president. And he worked for me and I worked for him. And I've just known him for a long, long time.
Right.
And I knew his first family and now his second wife,
family.
who's been with him for many years, you know.
Wonderful.
And he and I are just good friends, you know, for a long time.
Yeah.
How about you? Why don't you tell me your story?
I've known Joe since, I would guess the first ISQUAL meeting in Williamsburg, Virginia, which was in the early 1970s.
Yeah, okay, and, that's before me.
As most people do, they immediately take a liking to Joe.
Well, he was amazing.
Yeah, and still is. Not in the past, still is. And we decided that we would do a number of things together. My field is social policy.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not in marketing, I'm not in econometrics, I'm not in tourism, I'm not in real estate, I'm not in any of those things. And this is what's made our relationship so wonderful, is that we've been able to balance the various fields of inquiry.
You know,
and
his
research.
feeling about quality of life has been long enduring. And so all of these different things feed into that.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's good. You've had such a long relationship with him. I think I probably met him probably in the 80s would be my guess. Not because, you know, I didn't graduate until 1973.
Yeah, so yours would have been a bit later. I joined Penn in 1973.
Then
So
I'm having my vino right now.
I'm doing the same from Mario's.
I just left
Penn.
my wife because we solve all the problems in the world at 5 o'clock every night.
And Mario, where are you located?
So I'm at home, like everybody, I guess. I'm in Blacksburg, so where Virginia Tech.
Oh, you're in Virginia.
Yes, but I used to be in Belgium, so I came to Virginia Tech in
Which part of where in Belgium?
Flanders. So the northern.
Flanders.
Yeah,
So,
because I taught at Catholic University of Louvain for a year. I loved it.
yeah.
So much.
Yeah, I did all my education there, and first I was a postdoc in marketing, and then was an assistant professor in communication sciences in Leuven, and then I moved to Ghent in Belgium to be marketing, and now I'm here since 2015.
A cathedral never to be forgotten. Ghent is one of the most beautiful, actually, cities. And I remember restaurants on the bridge outside of the cathedrals where they had a wonderful chicken soup. I forget the name of it.
That's good.
It
Would it
was
be
extraordinary.
Waterzoo, is that it?
What's it called?
Waterzoo, I think.
Waterzoo, yes. Zooey was on
Oh
the-
my gosh, isn't this
water.
fantastic?
Yeah, no, it was one. I can remember walking out of the cathedral where I spent 2 hours because the choir was singing at that point. They were rehearsing for a prayer thing later in the day, and it was just wonderful. And then to go into that restaurant, I'm seeing so many good-looking men joining us.
Do you notice there's 10 dots along the bottom? I wonder if that means we have 10 people on.
That's
See the
29.
numbers?
That's 29 people already on.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
No, there's more than
I
that.
see Jose is there. Jose, are you in Mexico now?
Tampico, Tamaulipas.
In Bolivia.
Tamaulipas is just under Texas,
my
right at the
goodness.
Gulf of Mexico.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I used to be in Monterey, and now 5 years ago I moved back to my hometown, which is over here in Ciudad Madero, Tamaulipas.
Did
This
you ever
looks
get
like
the
a
copy
really
of the book?
interesting crew.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, it's nice. And I saw Don Rates on a moment ago.
I'm here.
I'm looking for.
I made it.
Where's Joe? Where's Joe? I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, Joe won't
No,
be on
he
till
said
6:15.
6:15 he was supposed to
Oh.
come on.
We're having a departmental meeting.
So
We're
we,
Is that a surprise,
we're
buddy?
drinking our wine now. It's time for our wine.
so we can talk family
Cheers
about
to you
Joe
all.
now.
There's Don. How are you, Don?
Doing okay.
Is that
Hello.
Don Rates?
At Don Rates.
Don Rates.
Oh, for Don, you remember me, Jay Lindquist?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Cheers.
yeah, boy, all the years that you guys worked together and then you got on the book for a while and oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. No,
But
no,
you
no.
haven't changed. You look just as young as you did 10, 20, 30 years ago, Don.
Always a good-looking man. Incidentally,
Why,
we have
thank you.
34 participants on now.
Wow.
34 people.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
Oh, wonderful.
So I am Rajesh Bagchi. I am the department head of marketing, and
At Blacksburg.
yes.
Oh, wonderful.
So
You're losing a really great soul.
I know. I mean, and the worst part is we're not even able to bid goodbye in a proper way. I mean, our original plan was we were going to have like a whole day of workshop and, have him talk and have all of you, like his distinguished friends and colleagues, come and talk about, your work as well as his life's work.
Right.
But unfortunately, that wasn't meant to be.
No.
But I think this will still mean a lot to him. We have Pam. Pam, can you hear me?
Who is it?
You're
Roger,
muted.
you're muted.
Let me.
So we won't be able to hear you.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes,
Make
we
sure
can
that you
hear
have
you.
all
We
your
won't be able to
audio
hear
and
you.
sound on, you guys.
Roger, you don't have sound on, but you can hear us. There it is.
Yeah, I turned it off because when you Zoom only really lets one person talk at a time.
Oh,
And sometimes, if everybody
But you're in the
very
shade.
noisy. So
You're in the shade right now. Your lighting is not good. We see the shadowy figure.
Richard?
That's a little bit, that's much better.
Yeah, I have a light here. I can turn on.
Look who that is.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Now, is this beautiful couple? I hope that's not a portrait, but just a wonderful place where you are.
I guess I didn't hear you. I'm in a senior facility in lockdown right now. Oh,
We're
that's not a senior facility in lockdown.
So, yeah, welcome everybody. What I was going to say is that Joe is going to join us at 6:15.
Right.
And I think from what I understand, Joe does not expect all of you to be here. We had told him that it will just be a small gathering and all of that stuff. So
good.
I think we will be surprising him a little bit, but knowing Joe, he's quite astute. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has a little bit of a hint that there may be others as well. So we will find out. And we also have Dean Sumikrast here. Thank you so much, Dean Sumikrast, for attending this. And I'm going to ask him to say a few words after Joe comes in as well.
Wonderful.
Joe's honor. And then we have, all his friends, and we also have friends from Virginia Tech, within Virginia Tech, and everybody from the department. So the plan for the event is, I want to say a few words when Joe comes in, and then we'll first start by, congratulating him, surprising him, and we'll take a few minutes. And I'm sure, he might not have seen some of you in a while, and so it'll be, we'll just let that be. And then after that, I'll say a few words. And then I have received some comments from some of his friends, and I was thinking maybe I'll read those comments out, and then maybe let Joe say a few words. And after that,
Excuse me, Joe will never say a few words.
I was going to say the same thing, Jay. I have never known Joe to say a few words, even when accepting an award.
Charles Dickens, but he's in that
Pull out a
page.
PowerPoint presentation.
but he has earned it, right? After 40 years.
Of course.
And someday we will really miss those words, right? I mean,
Of course.
I actually used to share an office next to his, and it was just so nice to have him over there. He's always dressed so immaculately, and always like very professorial, and everything is always right about him. And he would come there in the morning and right after a racquetball game, and I would see him in the mornings, and I'm going to really miss that. So he's been a huge influence, and obviously in all our lives, right, in different ways.
Right.
So
I'll let you chat for the next 3-4 minutes, and just.
Rajesh, you said each of us can say a few words. There are already 36 of us online.
Right.
So few words. What do you mean by a few words?
I was thinking like maybe a minute.
I have to leave by 10 o'clock tonight, Actually, sooner.
The plan was maybe an hour and a half, and if any of you have to leave. So what I'll do is I'll open the platform to all of you. So anybody, you can go up front and whatever. I think a minute, 2 minutes should be okay. And if anybody has to leave,
Right.
I think we'll be okay with that too, because, we understand.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine. Dear friends, are you actually in that beautiful location, or is that just a beautiful poster behind you?
It could be Photoshop.
I know, that's why I'm asking. Because we're all jealous
he's the
locked up
one
in
with
our
the
rooms.
trick.
Well,
All
it's just
background.
that I'm dreaming to be at. I'd like to say a few things about Joe. I have played racquetball with him for more than 35 years.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Joe is
So who wins?
Joe is known to be the Mr. Nice Guy, right? Everybody knows him as a wonderful, nice guy. You should
Except
see him
when
in
he
the
plays
racquetball court.
racquetball.
In the racquetball court, he is so vicious. He argues about every point. He fights with me like high school kids. We have fought many, many times. And you
But
should
he
see-
argues about everything.
As if you're any different.
Well, VJ is like that too, so no question about that. VJ, myself, and Joe have been playing racquetball for many, many years. So we're gonna miss him, a lot for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can still play racket.
Well, I imagine that he'll want to teach part-time, unless he's going to totally leave the university.
He should not do that. I kept being asked to go all over the world and to teach, and I said, no, thank you. Been there, done that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Travel these days is a little tough.
Well, yeah, you're not going anywhere, are you, Don? This is,
No, I'm,
this
this
is
is
probably
my-
the first reliable time that
Yeah.
I know you're home.
Yeah, this is, it's weird. I miss the long haul flying. It's weird, but nothing like a 16-hour flight to get you a little time to
All
yourself.
those miles are just going to evaporate for you. Cliff, we have you on the screen.
Yes, I am indeed on the screen. Greetings from
And you're
Chicagoland.
fully dressed. You're not relaxed at all.
Only,
No,
coming from
only from the
Chicago,
belt up, though, I understand.
if you're coming from Chicago, you're coming from the right place because that's my hometown.
Well, good, good. Well, with Joe as the focal point, and as already been mentioned, his never-ending gentility and sartorial splendor, I thought I probably should wear a tie for the evening and his celebration.
Impressive.
But as Don said, it's only from the neck up, basically.
I don't want to know what's below the waist. That's fine.
Yeah, nobody wants to know. Secret safe.
Someone here for Osman and Fezda?
Say what?
Someone here for you?
Oh,
Hey, Daniel, how are you?
virtual.
Good thing you can join us.
Well, I came to surprise my mom for.
Awesome.
Oh,
So
that's
the more the
nice.
merrier for Joe.
I did a myself
That's nice.
quarantine for 12 days before I came down, so
Oh my.
not too much.
Is your mom Pam?
No, my mom, I'm here. I'm the mom.
You're the mom. Okay. Okay.
Daniel
Oh,
just-
this is nice. This is
Daniel
good.
just arrived 10 minutes ago from Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia.
Welcome home.
Well,
By car. by
Maryland,
phone.
not a
Southern Maryland.
yeah, Southern Maryland.
Joe
not a
joined
market
us.
area. So
Well, it's important for your parents to see you.
It
Very
is.
exciting.
Okay, so we'll put us back on mute again, but I thought Fezza particularly.
I'm happy to
and,
see you. Absolutely.
I think there's a room or two that needs to be painted, right?
A what?
A room or two that needs to be painted.
oh, while you're.
When my kids come home, I always have a list of things they can do for us.
there's always something.
By the way, your dad is a most amazing person.
Yes.
He always takes the
We
time.
all love him.
Yes.
Which one of us has known Joe the longest?
El Sayed. Look at El Sayed.
Yes,
We were.
yes, I'm here.
Since 1980.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Don
Yeah.
Rates would be
Are
the
all
oldest.
these people?
Don Rates would know Joe the longest.
I've known him the longest. His daughter, Vanessa.
Oh,
Yes.
no, this is first, right?
Yes, I'm his first and his oldest of all four girls.
Oh, so happy
Wow.
to be here.
Here's his grandkids. There's another one over here on my side.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh,
I have known Joe
I
since
know he's very
1983.
proud of his family. He just loves being with you guys. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It
We're
wouldn't
very
talk
proud of
about
him.
it too often. and sometimes engage you in our project.
Emma go?
Yes.
Oh, Joe's here.
Yeah, I think my other sisters are on.
Joe's here.
Where is he?
Uh-oh.
Where is
All
he?
right, Joe, we'll unmute you.
Where is he?
Welcome.
Hey, there he
Hi,
is.
Grandpa.
There he is.
Do the unveiling. Okay.
How are you
John.
doing, old man?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, they were gossiping.
Hey.
Joe, how are you doing?
Dad, I think there's multiple screens.
Joe, happy
You can,
retirement.
click through the
Happy
screens. There's a
retirement,
lot of
Joe.
people.
I'm looking forward to it.
Congratulations.
Knowing
You are.
you won't be retiring much.
Well,
1, 2,
it's a
3.
different kind of retirement, you know? It's just you channel your energy in different ways.
Joe, why did you retire so young? What was your reason?
Good question, Wilsma.
He's actually an old man. Yeah.
Good question.
He just looks
Well, he needs to
young.
pay more attention to his lovely bride.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Right?
But Joe, you've got a group of 41 people online.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of whom are anxious to talk with you.
And
Yeah.
that is the scary part. We don't know what they're going to say, right, Joe? But they are here. I wanted to welcome you all, and obviously we're here to celebrate and pay tribute to an amazing career. I mean, I don't know of anybody in marketing actually that has had such an illustrious career over such a long span. And so I'm so glad that some of you could make it. As I was mentioning earlier, it's kind of unfortunate that it didn't play out the way we were hoping it would, that, you know, that we could have a whole day celebrating Joe's 40 years. But anyway, here we are. So thank you all for coming.
It is.
And
what
as
it
you
is.
all know, I mean, I'll be saying a few things. As you all know, Joe started his career as an assistant professor in 1979. And he's had a distinguished career spanning 40 years. And he is retiring at the end of this semester. And in his 40 years of service, Dr. Sirgy has accomplished many, many milestones. He has published extensively, and we all know this, in areas of marketing, business ethics, quality of life. The list is endless. His research record is truly outstanding. You know, I counted that he has over 400 publications. Fortunately, I could count until 400. Now, in terms of, you know, citation count, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't have to count because they're way over 30,000. It would have taken me forever to actually count that. And Dr. Sirgy is also, you know, as we know, author of many books, and he served as an editor, co-editor of several book series. And he currently serves as the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Macro Marketing. So, Tam, I'm not exactly sure what Joe's plans are. You better keep an eye on him, because he says he's retiring, but then he's got all these plans. So I don't know what retirement is going to mean, but obviously we don't want him to retire. As we know, he's also been the recipient of numerous awards and distinctions. You know, most recent was in 2019. The Macro Marketing Society honored him with the Robert Nason Award for extraordinary and sustained contributions to the field of macro marketing. And you know, Joe has also impacted scores of people. I mean, all of you here, it's a testament to his life's achievements. But he's also impacted many, many students at Virginia Tech and beyond. I mean, he's won numerous teaching awards. Just to name a few, he received Virginia Tech's Pamplin Teaching Excellence Award, Holtzman Outstanding Educator Award, as well as the University Certificate of Teaching Award in 2008. So he's just, you know, a scholar, incomparable scholar. And I don't know if people come, I mean, I don't see too many people of his caliber around. And I mean, I don't think they make scholars like that anymore. So
can't find them.
Yeah. Joe, this is to you and your wonderful career. You will be very, very deeply missed.
Thank you. I already have my
See you, Joe.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Joe.
Cheers.
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 Cheers and much happiness.
I would like to invite Dean Sumikras to say a few words.
Oh, thank you. And, you know, it is so great to see so many people gather in Joe's honor to celebrate his life, his career, and now to wish him well in his retirement. Like a lot of you, I've known Joe for a long time. I've known Joe for over 35 years.
Wow.
And throughout my career, I have found Joe just a great guy to work with. We're obviously at Virginia Tech, and Joe embodies so many of the qualities that you associate with people at Virginia Tech. We have a history, I think, at the university of being interdisciplinary. And Joe certainly was interdisciplinary long before we had destination areas. I guess long before we had institutes even. So he's had those great research achievements that Rajesh just listed through, and over a range of different parts of disciplines, and with research partners from the business school, from psychology, from the real estate program, just from a range of disciplines. He's also been a really important part of the instructional mission of Virginia Tech and the Pamplin College of Business. He's taught in a range of areas, different levels. One of the things that Joe did, and one of the things we did maybe a little bit together, was to do some study abroad programs. So this is 2001, where Joe was in Dijon, leading a study abroad program. And, you know, that was just one of the kinds of things that I'm trying to stop sharing.
Wow. Joe, do you recognize this picture?
I look so young in there. I don't even
They
recognize
certainly look familiar.
So anyway, you know, Joe's also always been willing to help. And when you think about Virginia Tech, our motto is Ut Prosim. I think Joe just really lives up to that. So he's a great guy. We're all going to miss him. Hopefully we'll miss him more in Pamplin Hall when we can get back in there, and less around town and on vacations. So here's to you, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dean Sumikrest. I was thinking I was going to read out some of the messages that we've received in Joe's honor, and then maybe Joe, you can say a few things if you feel like it. And then after that, I'm going to open it up to everybody and jump in, say whatever you like. And by the way, I should tell you that this is all being recorded. So tomorrow morning, if you disagree with anything you said tonight, then, well, we have proof. So
do we get to edit it?
No, but Trump will tweet about it.
That sounds very political.
I'm sure.
All right. So I'm going to read out some of the notes that we've received from Joe's well-wishers, friends, colleagues. So Lena Kim says this about Dr. Sirgy. You are an amazing professor. Your dedication and hard work is really inspiring. All the best for an amazing retirement. Enjoy your new chapter in life. Then we have this from Chenting Su. I'm proud of being one of your PhD students. I thank you for your teaching that has been encouraging and has inspired me. Maria Hatzio says this to Dr. Sirgy. Congratulations for a very productive and successful career, and best wishes for a beautiful retirement with health and joy always. Jennifer Shu says, congratulations on your achievements in your academic career. I appreciate and will always miss your warm personality, your smile and kind greetings around Christmas. That is true. Wishing you all the best as you start a new chapter of your life. Stefan Kruger says, you have been very instrumental in my career way back since 2009. You have been my mentor and we also became friends. My wish for you is to enjoy your retirement and experience a different quality of life, opposed to academic life in doing so. Ken Land says, congratulations on reaching this retirement milestone, Joe. Even though I know you will not stop working and producing important professional work, I will always be grateful for your initiative and energy devoted to creating and sustaining the International Society for Quality of Life Studies. The society has become a key international forum and networking organization for scholars studying social indicators and well-being. Thanks so much. Rich Wokuch says, congratulations on your retirement, Joe. I have very much enjoyed and benefited from working with you on matters of business ethics, social issues, and quality of life for the last 40 years. I think you have made a real contribution to Pamplin in these areas and improved the quality of life for all of us. Best wishes as you start a new chapter in your life. Next, we have from Vijay. I know Joe better on the racquetball court, where he displays the qualities of a true gentleman. Never argues a point, is never a hindrance, and is never wrong.
That's a lie.
I
That's a
don't agree
lie.
with that.
Wow.
I've never seen Joe play, but I can't imagine that, you know, he would be this way on the court. But he's a gentleman off the court. We all know that. And that is why he's always the referee. Fit as a fiddle, just like he was when we started playing 15 years ago. Joe, wish you all the best on your retirement. Just don't retire from racquetball. Vic Johar says, my heartfelt congratulations and good wishes to Dr. Joseph Sirgy on his retirement after an extraordinary academic career. He was my guru and best friend during my academic career. I thank him immensely. The most professional, collegial, hardworking, full of integrity person I have known. Joe, wish you the very best in life onwards. Next, we have a message from Devi. Devi says, congratulations on your very productive career and retirement. I envy you. What are you trying to say, Devi? You no longer have to worry about classes and teaching online. I have really enjoyed working with you and I look forward to seeing you around. Best wishes for your healthy and happy retired life. Then we have a message from Clifford Schultz. He says, congratulations and thanks, Joe. Your contributions to the academy cannot be overstated. You embody the term gentleman and scholar. I am proud to be your colleague and honored to be your friend. Please note, your retirement is a step toward doing all the things you really wanted to do, but did not have time to do. Number 2, have fun. Going forward, I'm hopeful our paths will continue to intersect on various projects. All the best for whatever life's journey has in store for you, Joe. Again, congratulations on your myriad achievements as a scholar, and thanks for your friendship and endless gentility.
Oh, they're very, very nice. Extremely nice.
And you know, it's straight from the heart, right? I mean, some
absolutely. And they're all accurate, as we
they're
know.
all accurate. Except the racquetball one. I'm not sure of that, but we'll see. Okay, I have a few more.
Excuse me. May I claim senior privilege here? I don't know if I'm the oldest, but I'm 85 and a half years old.
Well,
I'm
credit
jingling
you with that. Yeah.
And I'd like to, this is really a strange time, Joe, in the lives, you know, of people all around the world with this pandemic having, you know, devastating consequences. The rhythm, you know, of all of our life events has been changed, even as we're celebrating your retirement. You know, you and I have known each other for decades, particularly with respect to the many years working together as co-authors and in leadership and support roles in the Academy of Marketing Science. You know, your work as president of the Academy from 2002 to 2004 was really memorable, especially as I recall your energetic and successful focus on codifying standards of ethics for the Academy and all the members of the marketing discipline. Sharing the positioning, development, and the writing of our consumer behavior textbook through 4 editions, you know, it was really great. And Joe, you know, you're a solid citizen with great integrity, an admirable value system, and sensitivity to the feelings of others, which is, I think, unmatched by many, and a dedicated and successful professional and a friend to always be counted upon. So I'd like to say congratulations on joining the ranks of the officially, and that's in quotation marks, retired. But knowing you, I expect you shall continue to work at doing those things that give you most pleasure with your family and profession. I'll always be your friend and your colleague, and I wish you the best, Joe. Thank you. This is Jay, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
Thank you. That's very sweet, Jay.
Very
Nice.
Joe, I would just like to say a few words. This is Richard. You know, I figured out the other day that you and I have written more than 1 million words in the various books and monographs and book chapters and journals and so on. I've always thought you as not only a scholarly colleague, but as a very dear friend. And I really welcome you into the ranks of the retired. And it's going to be hard work to achieve a retirement mentality. But I know that you're capable of doing that, as long as you keep up the racquetball, of course. Others will find that very, very important. But I thank you so much. I regard you as a brother as much as a friend. And good luck to you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much.
Now, if I can grab a little bit, as we both arrived at Virginia Tech in '79, and I was a PhD student coming in, and Joe was a very young, I think he was 19 at the time, but a very young assistant professor. Joe really created an environment that let me focus my career really around quality of life and ethics, and trying to understand that marketing was not about selling things, but it was about creating quality of life for consumers and nations and people. And really, he set me up in so many ways. But sitting on his back porch one day, when he laid out his vision for the International Society of Quality of Life Studies, was an amazing time. And really, that organization has grown. And
we've lost your sound, Don.
Pardon?
No sound.
No sound.
No, we can hear.
Now we have sound.
Okay.
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Give me the.
We never know about the no sound. The International Society of Quality of Life is your legacy, Joe, but so is macro marketing. I mean, you are truly one of the pillars. And last summer, we had a chance in Cleveland to say thank you to Joe, as all the macro marketers from around the world came together and were able to honor Joe with the NASEN Award. So all these years have passed, and '79 was a long time ago, Joe, but it has been an honor. I'm humbled to have you as a mentor and as a friend. So thank you, and I think the world should thank you too, with the ability to recognize that there's a new change coming, and you have made people understand quality of life and the future of the value of what it means. So thank you, Joe, and again, great to be your friend and have you as a mentor. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Don. Thank you.
Joe, would you like to say a few words now, and then we'll come back and, you know,
Joe's talking.
Would that be appropriate?
Sure, sure. Let me say a couple of things. Well, I guess if, you know, I'd take you through my life journey at Virginia Tech. My last 41 years at Virginia Tech, very positive life journey. When I was finishing my doctoral work at UMass in 1979, I was looking for a professional home very much like UMass in terms of both academic and social life, and I found it at Virginia Tech. Kent Monroe was the department head at that time, and he convinced me that Virginia Tech is as academically rigorous as UMass. Kent was at UMass too at one point. For those who may be familiar with UMass, it's located in Amherst, Massachusetts, in the western part of the state. It is a university town, very much like Blacksburg, Virginia. My family, my wife Karen at that time, and my daughter Melissa, fell in love with the townness of the place. And I accepted Kent's offer with no hesitation and no regrets, even years later. Over the years, I witnessed much growth at Tech at Blacksburg. It was like watching my own children grow and blossom. I had two more daughters, Danielle and Michelle, who were born and raised in Blacksburg. Eventually, Karen and I went our separate ways, and I remarried. Our family grew with Pam and Emma joining the family. Pam is a psychology professor at Radford University. And over the years, my family prospered in Blacksburg, and Tech grew into a world-class university. Although my PhD was in psychology, I opted to join a school of business. My psychology colleagues at UMass were initially dismayed when they first learned of my decision to move into a business school. My rationale at that time, and it still is, if we want to humanize business, it is best done from the inside. Over the years, my psychology colleagues accepted this rationale by appreciating the kind of publications I have produced, research on issues dealing with quality of life and well-being in the context of business ethics, macro marketing, consumer well-being, employee well-being, community well-being, and leisure and travel well-being. I've been very blessed by the research and teaching and service opportunities I had at Tech. I'm retiring now, but this doesn't mean that I'm stepping away from teaching, research, and service. My heart tells me to contribute as much as I can for as long as I can. Retirement gives me the freedom to become more involved in what we call translation science, the kind of research and teaching and service opportunities to make a small contribution in non-academic circles. I made many lifelong friends at Tech, within the college and outside the college. I will always cherish these friendships. I would like to express my profound gratitude to my colleagues at Tech for having believed in me and supported my professional journey. My gratitude also goes to my former doctoral students, co-authors, and friends at the Academy of Marketing Science, the International Society of Quality of Life Studies, and the Macro Marketing Society, 3 academic and professional associations I helped nurture over the years. I feel truly blessed to be surrounded by many friends and colleagues who care deeply about humanity, past, present, and future. Last but not least, I also feel more than blessed to have a great family. Pam, my beloved wife, Melissa, my oldest daughter and her family, Anton, her husband, and my grandchildren, Isabella, Alec, and little Jake. Danielle, my second daughter, and my grandson, Scott. Michelle, my third daughter, and her significant other, Jonathan. As well as Emma, my stepdaughter, and my father-in-law, Sam. I'm also indebted to my extended family for their love and support. My 2 brothers, Abraham and Jimmy, and their families, and all my cousins and their families who are scattered throughout the globe. I finally like to thank Rajesh Bakshi, our department head, Robert Summercrest, our dean of the Tamlin School of Business, and Amy Dalton for organizing this wonderful and memorable event. Here's a toast. Toast. Cheers to everyone.
Cheers to you, Joe.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers to you, Joe.
Cheers.
A lot of bottles waiting for you.
Good Joe.
Joe.
Joe, I will not taste with any alcohol at this stage and that because it's past midnight in South Africa.
Oh, that's the fun. Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, another part of the globe. Thank you for joining us.
That was very touching, Joe. Anybody else you want to say something, memories or anything about Joe that rings a bell? I mean,
I'd like to, Rajesh, I'd like to share a few thoughts if I may.
Sure, absolutely.
So I have gotten to know Joe quite a bit over the years, almost entirely through macro marketing and the Journal of Macro Marketing, and have come on board increasingly with ISQuals, and had the pleasure to co-author some pieces with Joe and Don. But for me, I just want to go back memories lane a little bit for some particularly poignant moments with Joe. And one was the year 2000, give or take, in Rijeka, Croatia, at a macro marketing conference where Joe joined us. And it was one of those conferences. It was kind of magical, and who was there and what it was like. And only a few years past the war, and the importance of macro marketing and quality of life, rebuilding an entire country and a region. And so for that kind of springboard for Joe and our professional relationship, I raise a small glass of Maraska, which is a brandy from Croatia, Joe. So I'm going to toast you for that. And over the next 2 decades, we continued to work more and more on QOL and macro marketing endeavors. And some of you may know that very recently, a few of us, so Mark Peterson, I see, is here as well, were able to persuade Joe on the threshold of retirement to take on the task of being the editor of the Journal of Macro Marketing, which he has done, and he is not missed his stride at all. He's 3-4 months into your reign, and we're very appreciative of that. And for me, what I'm really looking forward to in the next 20 years, Joe, is some casual conversations that we've had about us working together in Lebanon. I know that's a very important part of your life that has not been addressed much in the recent decades. But as you know, I've been working with some colleagues at St. Joseph there, and I know they would be happy to greet you. So here's a small shot of Arak to serve as a springboard for working in Beirut to Baalbek and back to Blacksburg. Cheers, my friend.
Thank you.
I'd like to follow up. This is Mark Peterson. I'm at the University of Wyoming, and I was the previous editor of the journal Macro Marketing. And Joe, I appreciate so much that you came on board as you did in such a strong way. And I'm just thinking about it. I've heard nothing. So it must mean you're doing an excellent job. Nobody's whining or everybody's got it rolling. And one thing I'm thinking, looking at this sea of marvelous faces here, that the probability is probably 90%, Joe, that you were the anonymous reviewer 3 on several of our papers for each of us. So we thank you. Here's to reviewer 3, Joe Sirgy.
That's good.
No, I can believe a lot of things, but it's hard to believe that Joe would be an easy reviewer, actually.
Yeah.
I suspect he was the reviewer 3 that didn't allow the paper to go in. I'm just kidding. I mean, he's a gentleman, but he's also a scholar, right? We all know that.
Hi, Joe.
El Sayed was trying to get in too. Oh,
I love Zoom.
I could say just a few words.
Yes.
Joe, it's wonderful to be here with you, and it's just wonderful to see you look forward to your retirement. I don't know if you remember, but you know, we were UMass colleagues together. We didn't know each other then. But I also have to say I'm sorry, but I haven't read a word that you've written. But we've been wonderful travel companions, and you know, I remember our times in Turkish restaurants, hanging out of balloons in Cappadocia, and I've thought so many times that it'd be wonderful to go back there. It looks like it's going to be a while before we do it, but let's put it on the agenda. Anyway, congratulations to you.
Yeah, that was a great trip, and it was our pleasure to get to know you on that trip.
Yeah, here we are, three our travel companions. Osman stacked up underneath us.
So Osman and because yeah, they were great hosts. They took us all over Turkey. It was a wonderful trip. Yes.
We gotta do it again without Osman. Supreme leader.
I was just a leader.
Oh yeah, control.
It was great. That's all I have to say. It was great.
I want to go there in winter.
El Sayed, I think, wanted to speak.
Yes.
He's tried
Okay.
several times.
Yes. My name is Said Al Aswad. I'm basically anthropologist from University of Michigan. Basically, I have known Dr. Sirgy just for 3 years when he and Richard invited me to write a book about the quality of life and policy issue among North African and Middle Eastern countries. And I was really happy to do that because it was a very new experience from me, go from the religion and symbolic anthropology to the quality of life and well-being in the Middle East. This is a big issue and big topic, and I'm really thank both of John and Richard for inviting me. Also, I was really happy to know that John was really, I guess, born in Cairo or who lived in Cairo in Egypt. I am an Egyptian and I was born in Alexandria, Egypt. And right now moved to USA after working in United Arab Emirates University. But really, I feel that the sense of humor and the sociability and connectivity of Joe was really great. I don't feel really being alien or strange when we're talking to him. I feel that he and Rich are really part of my family. And this is a new experience here in the US, especially when we go working hard and sometimes be isolated. But I feel great and I learn a lot from working with him. And I wish him really a great time. I didn't want to say retirement because he is very active in scholarship and academia. And he is making a difference. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to see all of you, distinguished scholar, and celebrating that distinguished Joe. And thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Saad. You've been a great colleague, and I hope we can continue to be a great colleague and to contribute to, again, the quality of life literature. Thank you.
I'm still working with a book right now about confronting Islamophobia in North Africa.
Yeah.
It is right now. we did also co-authorship was about combating jihadism, which is a great book. As a matter of fact, the Middle Eastern right now thinking to have that book in the curriculum there in Cairo University. So I have in contact with them.
Arabic.
That's great.
Then, this is my hope to translate all of the series of the human well-being and policy making a series in Springer to an Arabic or French, and I'm willing to edit or to translate also because I did. For my book, Religion and Folk Cosmology, I translated in the Supreme Council of Culture in Egypt in Arabic to Arabic. So I will be happy to do that, Richard and Joe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to say a couple of words to Joe. Hi, Joe. I'd like to thank you for all your contributions to the field of quality of life, which is where I been working with you and with all the great people around us. I probably met you in 2003 or 4, and it was in one of the East Coast conferences. And then again on the CIC, Community Indicators Consortium. And after we got these two areas, we built a quality of life index, which combined the quality of life and the indicators, which was great. I remember you came to Mexico and we built this indicator, we built this index right at the Congress in Mexico City, which it was great. Remember that you met me and said, would you like to participate more in these organizations? And I said, yes. I didn't know you were to make me vice president of both of them. And so I had to work. but it was a great experience. And then we had this project of the history of well-being with Richard, which was really great experience. So we've been talking and we've been working on quality of life for universities, quality of work life, quality of life in communities. And I think we will be working on this. I know you're not going to retire totally. So I hope to see you more often now that you will have more time, I guess. And really thank you, Joe, for all the nice things you have done and all the support you have given me and on my career. Happy retirement.
Oh, thank you, Pepe. And you've been a wonderful person all along. And
you will excuse me, Joe. I must leave you.
Huh? Oh, yeah, Richard.
Be
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, and say hi to Gail and thanks.
Love to everybody. Stay
Okay,
well.
Richard. Okay, Richard.
Be well.
Good to see you, guy.
Wash your hands.
Okay.
Muzo wanted to say something. So Muzo had his hand up.
Sure. Thanks,
Richard. Working in the background. So
yeah. Good evening. Good to see you all, including, of course, Joe Sirgy, you, and Din Sumukras, and Osman's lovely wife, and I know, and Stefan from South Africa. Well, it's funny though. My path has a different intersection with Joe, and I got to know Joe in the 90s. By the way, I am Muzo Isal from University of Massachusetts. And I spent 20 plus years at Virginia Tech. And I got to know Joe in the 90s. And he was so kind, generous, and he would also serve on PhD and master's committees at that time. But I always say this to you, Joe, one of the best things that happened to me to really get to know you, I guess, while I was Virginia Tech. So Joe is a fantastic human being. And I always say this, he's contagious. He's the one who hooked me on this quality of life because I come from a totally different perspective and given my education and background, I'm in the field of hospitality and tourism and a little bit in leisure. So, and Joe always, as you know, taught that that will be an area where there will be so much potential for anyone to engage in quality of life studies. And I think in the beginning, you know, I was dragging my feet, but Joe was so patient, kind, and encouraging, and somehow he got me hooked on this. And since then, I guess we had, you know, while there so many discussions, great lunches with PhDs together, and I was privileged to have the chance to co-author a number of good papers in our top tier journals in hospitality and tourism. And we managed to do 2 co-edited books, one of which is nicely received in tourism. It's a handbook on quality of life in hospitality and tourism. Well, more importantly, that's something we all do in this business, you know, and I was part of a gang that used to get together. I hope they still do, Osman, Vijay, and others, and Minisha. I think if she's there, hi, hello. But Vijay, her husband, to play backgammon. And I could tell, and Osman is right, because Joe has 2 personalities. I think when he's in the court, and I watch them once, and I cannot believe and how vicious he can be, as kind, as let's say fair as he appears to be outside, thanks Thank God that is the case when we work together. But even when he plays backgammon, he's very competitive in a way. I was the least competitive person. You should watch, VJ playing with Joe Sirgy or Osman playing with Joe Sirgy. I should have recorded some of this. It would have been just fantastic, and not to mention Jim Littlefield. But Joe, in sum, I really think that because of you, my academic and personal life is richer, and you have added too much to my academic world, and also to my personal way of looking at a lot of things in general. I know our path continue to cross, and you being a fantastic person, friend, and I just look at you as brother and also a mentor. Just thank you, Joe, for being there for us. Your patience, your creativity, your time, you've been just absolutely generous, more generous than anyone I could imagine. And then even the Department of Hospitality and Tourism at Virginia Tech is, I think, much better because of your contribution to that department. And in the past, Jim Littlefield did the same thing. It's just fantastic. As Dean Sumichrast was saying, you just reach out to different individuals on campus in different fields and departments. That was much appreciated. Thank you, Joe. And I also just, wish you the best, and your lovely family members, and Pam, the rest, and grandkids, your daughter, just awesome. And then hope to see you sometime again soon. Thank you for being there, Joe. Good seeing you here. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Muzo.
Thank you very much, Muzo, for telling the story quite correctly about racquetball, how vicious he is. But what is interesting is this: over the years, VJ has become much more vicious. And VJ is the #1 in terms of fighting about points and arguing with you, and of course lying, and so VJ passed you in that respect.
No, that is not true. Joe and Osman are still at the top. And Muzo, you remember backgammon, right? Osman would be there trying to intimidate you. Your turn. And Osman wants to win all the time in backgammon, and Joe wants to win in racquetball. I'm the one who's lagging all the time, so I'm not the one who's vicious. Joe is the one. But what I like about Joe is his quality of life. He really knows how to enjoy life. I mean, where did this Institute of Quality of Life start from? It's all Joe. He wants to go to all these exotic places. He gets business class fares to Hong Kong, and he would take any of us along with him. He said, okay, I'll be your bag boy. No, you're not coming with me. So now he's retiring, but he's still going to be the same person. He's always been a scholar. He's going to write his books. How many books do you have, Joe? 30 books? How many more are you going to write? And how many citations? 50,000 citations? How many more? And Joe, I think he's helping the college, especially in these really bad budget times, that he's not going to draw a salary. Otherwise, he should be drawing a salary because he's working as hard as anyone else. And Joe, I have to come to your new house now, your extension. We have to have a sleepover over there.
I second that.
Have fun, Joe, in your retirement.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. This is Salah. Ahlan beek. Salah Hassan from George Washington University. I'm sorry my camera is not working, my friend, but at least I can see you. How are you? Congratulations on reaching that decision. As a matter of fact, when I first heard about it, you were the last on my list to think of you even retiring. I salute you, my friend, for your selfless efforts over the years in advancing knowledge in our field and working so hard in creating such a marvelous community of scholars and top-notch scholars from around the world. I still so fondly remember your leadership of the Academy of Marketing Science, marvelous couple of years that we had with you. And of course, the Multicultural Marketing Congress in Valencia, Spain. What a great event that was, memorable. And of course, we so fondly remember our trip to Cairo, Egypt, and having you keynote address at the Sustainable Development Forum in Cairo. And I have stories to tell on that, but maybe we can reminisce about these stories at a later time. Knowing Joe Sirgy will never retire. So contributing to world-class publications and collegiality is right into his DNA. So you are the best colleague I've ever had, my dear friend. We will always be friends, and I wish you and your lovely family to stay safe and stay happy and
Okay. Well, thank you.
I want to take you on your offer and your next trip to Northern Virginia. I live in the same state, my friend, and we got to meet in Virginia. We always meet around the world, and I don't recall we ever met in Virginia. So your next trip to Northern Virginia, let's meet over lunch or dinner. I would love to catch up with you. We have been friends for nearly 30 years, and I cherish every moment and every conversation that we had. So I can't say I miss you because I know I'm going to see you, and hopefully soon. So enjoy your retirement and stay healthy and stay safe.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hassan.
Yeah,
Tony, you're up next. You have your hand raised, so.
Yes, yeah. Hello, hi, Joe. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm from the Boston area. I work in the campus at the UMass system, UMass Law. I have had the distinct honor of working with Joe as one of his many former doctoral students. I was at Tech during 94 and 98. Time flies. I have not returned to Blacksburg ever since. And then my son was born just 8 days before my dissertation defense. And then he just graduated from Georgia Tech last week. And then this has been a tremendous journey. We were hoping that upon getting the invitation from the department on your retirement celebration, we were going to visit Blacksburg as a family for the first time since leaving Blacksburg. But that wouldn't happen this year. But we still, as a family, want to wish the best wishes to Joe, to your family. And then when I see really the screens from your daughters and family, I recall that I saw all of their pictures in one of those photo stands in your office. I was so familiar with that office. And then I want to say to everyone that Joe is not only a distinguished scholar, and having made tremendous contributions to the field in the areas of self-concept, quality of life, business ethics, and sustainability, so on and so forth. And he's also a wonderful person, wonderful mentor, very caring, understanding, one of the finest people I have ever met in this whole world, to be honest. You have my highest level of respect. And then I can also attest to the level of respect you command, Joe, as a scholar representing the Department of Marketing at the Templeton College and Virginia Tech in academic conferences. I was a doctoral student and junior faculty member when I was in the conferences with you, and then I can witness the level of respect that you command. And then congratulations. And that was even 20 years ago, 18 years ago. Now, of course, your impact has grown or continued to grow Your Google Scholar citations are numbered at more than 30,000. I believe you're one of the top marketing scholars in the world in terms of impact, very relevant, high quality research. And I think the field, the world, the university community will thank you, all the time. And then congratulations, on your retirement. Best wishes to you and to your whole family. I told you I was surprised that you're retiring so early, but this must have been a thoughtful decision that you have made. I know you'll continue to make contributions to the field, and then and certainly I wish the best of luck to you, and also to the professors at Virginia Tech, to Dean Samchrist here, and to Rajesh. I want to thank you for educating me as a doctoral student. And then, Virginia Tech is very special to me. And then I really came to the States to go to Blacksburg. And then I spent 4 years there. And then sometime I want to come back and visit. And I hope I'll see Joe when I come back. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tao. I hope you come and visit. Absolutely. Blacksburg, you'll probably see Blacksburg as bigger and much more prosperous. Virginia Tech is your alma mater. Will always be there. So we'd love to have you back.
Yes.
So whenever you get a chance, we'd love to welcome you back.
Absolutely, Tony. I second that. So you're very welcome. You always have a home here. So come see us when normalcy returns, of course. So.
Norfolk.
Yes,
yeah. That's well, thank you all for joining. This is a wonderful event, a very memorable event, and I will cherish that event for a long time to come. So as you can see, I have teary eyes.
Well, I think we have a few more people. Pam, do you want to say something from the family? Anybody else who we've missed?
Yes, Pam, go for it.
Go for it,
Your
yes.
opportunity.
I do want to say that, we've heard a lot about Joe being wonderful as a professional, and he is. But he's also equally wonderful as a husband, and I'm looking forward to having him at home a lot more.
But will you be at home?
That will be the case.
Are you going to be in the office because Joe is at home?
We're kind of all at home now. It's working out really well. So
Chores.
Well, the good thing is that we have two separate offices at our home. So you only cross paths, in the main level. I got my office down, as you can see, it's down in the basement, and her office is upstairs.
So you are social distancing? Is this social distancing?
They practice social distancing real good, like we do.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is Melissa, Joe's oldest daughter, and I didn't really prepare anything, but I figured since I have known him the longest out of this group, I should probably say a couple of words. But we moved to Blacksburg when I was in first grade, and I remember at the time that my father was so excited about the new venture, and watching him through all of the years in Blacksburg grow, and the commitment that he had to Virginia Tech, and how Virginia Tech became the fabric of our family. And I remember watching his work ethic and how committed he was to his research, and how committed he was to teaching. And it was such a passion, and it has always been such a passion of his, that it wasn't work. He loved it. It was part of who he is and who he will always be. And I remember growing up in Blacksburg and hearing about my dad from all of the different people that were his students that I would interact with, and about how much they loved him and how much they impacted his life and their lives. And I went on to Radford because I was in marketing as well, and realized I couldn't have that close proximity to my dad to know everything I was doing. So I got away a little bit to Radford in marketing. And when I got to marketing, all the professors at Radford just spoke so highly of my dad, and they all knew him. And I just realized the impact he's had across so many different groups of people. And it's genuine, it's sincere. I think everyone that knows him, as Pam said, I don't think I've ever known an enemy to my dad or anyone speak negatively of my dad. Maybe when I was in high school and got in trouble all the time, said some things, but.
Or if you're playing racquetball against him, right?
Exactly. I know he's a fierce competitor with racquetball. But I know my family, my sisters are on, my cousin Johnny is on. And as you know, we're also proud of you, Dad, and being such a great role model and example. Oh my.
That's very nice. Very nice.
Oh, that's so sweet. Very sweet.
I'll say something real quick. Just don't want to take up too much time. Hey, Uncle Mac. So I'm Johnny. I'm Uncle Mac's nephew. Uncle Mac, or Joe, excuse me. Joe and my father immigrated here a long time ago together. And I went to Virginia Tech, and I grew up going to Blacksburg, making the trip down from Pittsburgh with my family, and I've always looked up to Uncle Mac or to Joe my whole life, ever since going down there. I was always drawn to his just his demeanor. He's always been such a gentle and kind person, and he was always that way to me when I needed it the most. And my time at Virginia Tech, I would often go over to Pam and Joe's and spend time with them, and that always meant a lot to me. But just quickly, I'll just say that when I graduated, I was a finance major, and I went into sales, and I was one of those graduates who really didn't know what the heck was what I was going to do or what I was interested in, and I picked finance because I just thought that's you can make the most money in that, so that's why I picked it. But simply put, Joe sent me a few books, and it introduced I can't remember all of them. I think Getting to Yes was one of them, and a couple like basic sales books, and they introduced some psychology into business, and that lit a spark in me very quickly. And I quickly realized if I was going to have a career in business and a career in sales, you needed to understand psychology very well. So I started reading, and that really sparked an interest in me. And I read a lot of books since then that were really just business related. I think you've sent me books like Authentic Happiness, and I think there's one that was published in 2014 called Real Estate Marketing. Oh wait, yeah, that was the one you wrote. That's right. But anyways, I just want to say, Joe, Uncle Mac, I love you. Thanks for always being there for me over the years when I needed advice, insight, and just helping. When I got to a fork in the road, you've always been there. He wrote a poem for me on my wedding day and read that. And Joe's been like a second father to me. So it's not surprising one bit to hear just all your colleagues gushing over the type of man that you've always been and will continue to be. And I just want to say thanks for being a part of my life. And I owe some of my success to you for, just always steering me in the right direction. So thanks, Uncle Mac.
Well, thanks, Johnny. You're not just being a nephew, but essentially you're a son to me. So and you'll always be.
Thank you.
I love you.
Me too.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you all. I'm going to start crying now. So maybe we need to quit.
Love you.
Okay.
Thanks for organizing this, everybody. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
thank
lovely.
Thank you so much, Rajesh.
Thank you all for coming. I mean,
Amy, thank you so much for organizing this.
I mean, this is really a tribute to what a gentleman and scholar you've been for 40 years, Joe. I mean, we are going to absolutely really miss you. And my hope is in some ways that you will still come spend time with us, and that this is just as somebody mentioned, we're just not going to pay you for it. But honestly, I'm really hoping that, I know that a scholar like you will never stop. So we all know that, and we're just so thankful that, you spend, our lives, our paths crossed, and I learned so much from you, and it's been an absolute honor. And I think I speak for everyone here when we say that. So I have teared up, so I'm guessing everybody else did too. So, but thank you all. And,
Go, cheers to you.
Thank you.
Pam? Pam?
Thank you, Joe.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Pam, you need to go to the basement with a bottle of wine now. Go to the basement where Joe is with the wine.
I made sure he had wine before I left him in the basement when I came up to my office.
Go downstairs, Pam.
Dad, we're gonna have a real party when we can all see each other again.
That'd be great.
Absolutely. We'll do that.
Good, Joe.
Without
Congratulations.
the face mask and the gloves.
Yeah.
And we're sending a small, what would I call it? Like a small gift from the department to commemorate this. But nothing can and will. What you've done for us has been amazing. So on that note, good night, everybody. And Joe, we'll see you again soon, hopefully. So
Thank you. Good night.
Good night,
All the best,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Pam.
Okay. أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا بيك.
Thank you. Salah. Joe asked me, as a matter of fact, if I want to go to Cairo because Salah was doing a conference and I didn't have a chance to know even Salah.
Let's connect.
But the idea was great, but I couldn't do it.
Let's connect, my friend. This is a great way to connect.
Yeah.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Joe.
you
Thank you,
for
guys.
hosting this wonderful conversation from Blacksburg. Thank you all. And
Great. Great. Thank you.
Take
God
care.
bless you all.
Hi,
God bless
Emma.
you
How
all.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good night.
So are you in DC?
I am, yes, yeah.
Oh, you are in DC too? I'm in DC.
Yes, I'm in, I work on the mall and I live in Falls Church right now.
Oh, I live in Fairfax. I'm at George Washington University.
Okay, yeah.
Hi, Vijay. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. I'm sorry my camera is not working, but I'm sure we'll connect soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, guys.
Talk about the Egypt trip again.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Both of you are together now.
Oh, did they leave?
They left.
They left.
We were finally going to talk.
I know, we were gonna, I was gonna say hi too. I might call Joe back.
I was going to tell everyone to like and subscribe, climb up. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. That was amazing to hear all of Joe's accomplishments. And I mean, I knew he's done a lot. And it's incredible to see the multicultural aspect of everyone that he's met too. Like, it's
Oh, absolutely. He's impacted many lives, many lives.
Oh yeah, that's more than I could have even imagined. It wasn't until this moment to be true, because I'm a friend of the
This,
family.
by the way, is just a fraction. We received emails from a lot of people who couldn't make it because of the time difference.
Right.
There were people who actually wrote to us saying that they were absolutely planning to fly, not just cross country, but across the globe. But the time difference didn't work out just for this one. Otherwise, I mean, he's had a huge impact, and I can tell you that. So we're gonna really miss him.
That's wild.
Yeah.
This is the other daughter.
I'm his daughter.
Nice to meet
My
you.
boyfriend, by the way.
Next time you come to Blacksburg or something, we should do lunch or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Great seeing everyone on here.
Yeah, it was nice to see
Makes
everyone.
me really happy.
Well, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you all later. We'll get them to rope everyone into a Zoom meeting again, and maybe we'll speak up.
We might actually have a real party one of these days.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be cool. He needs a retirement. Actually, when Michelle and I first started seeing each other, It was like, I think it was 2012. And if we gave a speech, I was going to mention this. One of the very first things, and it spoke volumes to the family, is the very first, like one of the very first, if not the first time meeting the family. I don't know if you remember this, Emma. It was at the old house, and it was Unky Rahim's retirement. It was his retirement. You don't remember that? It was my birthday, and they were like, "Oh, well, come celebrate your birthday with Rahim's retirement, Joe's brother." And so that was my first introduction to the family.
Wow.
No.
I'm not surprised. Such a generous person, right? He's such a, yeah, he's been a mentor to me. I mean, like Vijay over here. I mean, these are people you look up to, right? And I started as an assistant professor here, and people like them took me under their wing, you know, and made all the difference.
Wow.
So it's, yeah, it means a lot to me, and I think we're going to really miss him. Vijay, I think he'll still play racquetball. I'm not sure he's saying no to that. Right?
Yeah, he can't get out of racquetball.
Well, it depends on when the gym is open again.
Yeah.
Because it's still going to be probably 2 years before it reopens. And Pam took him away from Blacksburg, and so he's got a long commute now.
Yeah. Well, now he doesn't have an excuse not to do it now that he's not going to be teaching. So.
Yeah, that is true. then all the more reason he can do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, he's the one that picked this house out. He's the one that decided that this was the right place.
There might be a racquetball court in Radford, right? I'm sure there would be.
Yeah, there is. They have a rec center over there, but everything else is awful.
The sports complex that's off limits to students, basically.
Yes, it is actually. It's off limits to everyone except athletes, the place where the racquetball courts were.
But you know, looking at Vijay and Joe, they can pass off as students.
Yeah, they look so young. That's like, whoa.
They don't age, I know.
No, okay, so the problem with Radford is that their lockers are really, really tiny. So if you go there, then you have to come back home to have a shower. And that's not going to work.
Joe just has to suck it up and go to Virginia Tech for racquetball.
I guess we'll have to alternate. Or maybe Joe can teach, Rajesh can hire him to teach a class. Real estate marketing, he's still
Anytime.
someone for that.
Anytime. I mean, I didn't want him to retire. I can hire him back full time if he really wants to do it. I'm not sure Pam will allow that, but you know.
I'm telling you, Joe is the only one that wanted him to retire. It had nothing. I didn't want him to retire yet either.
I didn't want him to retire either.
No.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good decision for him. He's, he'll.
Yeah, if he's happy with it, that's what matters.
That's what matters. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. This was awesome. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Rajiv.
Thank you for doing this, Rajesh. It was really nice. Joe was definitely very touched.
This is the least we could do, Pam. You know what we had planned, but it's the best we could do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll go out for dinner one of these days when things are, back to normal.
Sounds good. When we can touch each other, right?
Yeah.
Sounds weird when you say it like that.
Okay, well, we can shake hands. How's that? We can shake hands.
No, you wear gloves and shake hands.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I'll sign in.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, individual, you just joined.
So, she was there before.
How do we exit? I'm out of here.
Bye, you guys.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Bye, you too.
Love you. Bye.